Today is all about goals. Reading goals, channel goals, goals for the year. I know I'm a little late getting this video out, but I made my list and want to talk about my goals for the year. Both reading and channel. It's just going to be a chill, chit-chat, talky video because I'm trying not to be super hard on myself this year because I found when I am super hard on myself, I shut down and that's not fun. So we're just going to kind of chit-chat, tell you what I want to do this year and maybe get some of your feedback on some things, especially like channel-wise, and see what you think. Because I know last year I slacked a lot on the channel, and this year, sneak peek to one of my goals, we're not going to slack on the channel. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First, we'll start with the reading goals. My number doesn't change. Year after year after year, I keep it exactly the same no matter what, and that is 52 books. That is equivalent to a book a week, and that is very doable for me. It is not stressful for me because, you know, I have two small kids. Well, they're not small, but they're like elementary age kids. And we do sports, and I have a dog, and I have a husband, and I have a full-time job, and I have, you know, part-time freelancing that I do, and I have this channel, and I have, you know, quite a busy schedule. So 52 books is definitely doable for me. I also really want to focus on books I own. Now, I think this is like everybody's goal, and like my goal every year is I want to focus on a lot of my owned TBR, specifically my like fairy loot books, and because I read from my special editions. I think special editions should be read from and they should be loved. But if you don't, that's cool. I like to read from my special editions. Like I like them. But yeah, I want to read, you know, my special editions, my owned books. And then kind of transitioning into that, my self-published books. I want to read 1 to 2 self-published books a month, specifically the ones that I have been sent. I have like a whole shelf of self-published books that have mainly been sent to me by the authors. I have been making my way through them. I want to do, you know, more self-published reviews and things like that, but I have to read the books, right? And most of them sound amazing. So that's kind of the reading focus for this year. But I have gotten really, really, really into audiobooks over the past few months. And something I've been doing and I think has been helping me read my own TBR is if I see a book at the library, like on Libby or like on Scribd or even like really cheap on Libro FM, those are the 3 platforms I use. Like, because Libro FM has like $2 to $3 sales if you just like scroll through, and I'm like, absolutely. So if I find them either really cheap on Libro, like for $3, or on Scribd or on Libby, what I'll do is I will get the audiobook for one of my owned books and immersion read. I will listen and read at the same time. So that's actually been helping me a lot. So I do count that as reading my owned books because I'm audiobooking it for like half of the book, but I'm also like reading what I already own. So that's the goal. More self-published books and books I already own. Kind of going along with reading books I already own, I want to unhaul more books. I am running out of room in this office space. Not terribly, but I like a good unhaul. I don't like to hold on to things that I don't love. Right? I actually have a stack over there of books that I'm already unhauling. And I don't feel bad about it because usually they're books that I have read and I either liked but will probably never read again, or I just didn't like, or I DNF'd, you know, whatever the reason may be. But I have a couple ways that I get rid of the books. I usually have, you know, one of my many nieces, you know, I have an 18-year-old niece, a 23-year-old niece, who both love to read. I have a 15-year-old niece who loves to read. My sister-in-law, both of my sister-in-laws absolutely love to read. So whenever they come over, I usually just have like this stack and I'm like, hey, look through this, see what you want. If there's nothing you want, cool. If you want some of these books that are in here, cool, take them. And whenever, you know, that's done, whenever they've kind of picked through it, then I take it to my local used bookstore. And that way I get credit for it. And then I can shop at the local used bookstore as well, which I buy a lot of my kids' books there. I get books for myself there too. But I get a lot of like books for my kids at the local used bookstore, so it's kind of a win-win because I'm trading up, and we love used books here. I also want to finish a series, which I feel like my goals list is like everybody's goals list, especially for reading, because it's like I want to finish the series that I've already started because that is something I'm terrible about. You know, it kind of goes along with reading books I already own, because sometimes I will buy a whole series and oops, haven't read it all. So yeah, I definitely want to focus on reading, you know, more of my series, completing more of my series. I need to go through and see like what series I've started and what I need to complete, because I know obviously I can't do that if it's a book where it's only the first book out, right? We're really talking about books where all the books are out. So like the Skyward series, the last book just came out. I have them all. I need to finish reading them all because I still need to read the last 2. And finally, I actually want to read more manga. This is one where my daughter and I both have really gotten into it. Like, she has been really loving reading manga. I have been really enjoying reading manga. I hate how expensive it is to collect it, but I got her a bunch of the My Hero Academia manga for Christmas, and she has been absolutely loving them. We have watched the shows, you know, the anime together. My husband and I watch a lot of anime, and I want to read more manga. I enjoy it, and I never really talk about it here on the channel. Not really sure. I'll get kind of into that when we do my channel goals and some questions that I have for you guys. But yeah, I definitely want to read more manga. And that's kind of it for the reading goals. It's really simple. It's really basic. You know, I just want to read and read what makes me happy and enjoy it. So for channel goals, I never set like numbers goals. It's not like I want to hit 10K or 5K or whatever it may be. I try not to set numbers goals because it stresses me out. What I do want to do is I want to be consistent this year, much more consistent than last year. At one point I was uploading 3 videos a week, more than that, and that just wasn't doable for me. So my goal this year is to upload 2 videos every single week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then a potential extra video if I have it on either Fridays or Saturdays. Not sure which day, Friday or Saturday, but that'll be like a bonus video, like an extra that's not, you know, necessarily, you know, one that I am going to do all the time. Like, it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays and then bonus video around the weekend time if I get to it, which sometimes I will, sometimes I won't, but I can pretty much guarantee that I will always be able to get to Tuesdays and Thursdays right now, because with my work schedule, I've kind of worked out a filming schedule for myself, and with my kids' sports and stuff like that. So very excited to actually be like very consistent on this channel again, because I love doing it. I also want to be more consistent on my blog. If you didn't know, I do have a website that I started last year, same name as this, thebookishmom.net. I love it. That is kind of like my first love was blogging. I started a mom blog in 2016, and that's how I kind of got into this entire world. That's how I ended up in influencer marketing. That's how I ended up, you know, with everything. That's how I ended up in marketing and influencer marketing and working with influencers and being an influencer and, you know, working for Disney and working for the company I'm working for now, and just everything that I've done started with a website. So I did start a bookishmom.net website. It's always linked down below. And I just want to focus on being more consistent on that as well. A lot of it is repurposing older videos, you know, having a video embedded and then having a full blog post. That way it helps with visibility. I highly recommend that anybody that has just a YouTube channel, it feels like they can handle it, have a website as well. A self-hosted WordPress website, because you own it. You do not own YouTube. You do not own your videos on YouTube. You own your website. So think about that. I highly recommend it because you're getting, you know, extra visibility, double, you know, search value, things like that. I highly recommend it if you have the time and the wherewithal and just the capacity to have a website. If you feel like it's too much for you, obviously it's not a big deal. But I would recommend having a website, especially if you want to generate an income or potentially generate an income. It's something I highly recommend to everybody. I want to do more live streams, and I think I said this last year. Live streams freak me out when I'm doing them by myself. on my own channel. I always feel like no one's going to show up and it's like, what am I going to talk about? I don't love doing reading sprints like alone. Maybe I'll bring in friends and be like, hey, I want to do reading sprints just because, but like, I don't know. Reading sprints just aren't my jam. What I want to do is more author interviews, specifically self-published author interviews. So a lot of these self-pub authors that have sent me books, I want to eventually have some of them on the channel. I want to reach out and be like, hey, I read your book. I loved it. Let's have a discussion. Bring them on. Maybe bring on another YouTuber who's like read it. As I have a lot of friends that read other, self-published, indie published books like Andrew and some other people. Leslie reads a lot of self-published. I want to really do more of that this year. And maybe once a month, bring on a different self-published author whose book that I've read and just have a conversation. Is that something you think that you would watch? Because I think it sounds fun. And it gives these self-published authors just like a little bit more exposure, another place to talk about their work and get it out there to somebody. I just think it would be a lot of fun. And I was also thinking about just doing chats. Like, I don't love sprints, like I said. I do love just like live chats as long as it's like interesting. Or like we get a couple other people in it who we can just talk about, a topic of the month, whether it be book related or booktube related or marketing related or, whatever it may be. What do you think? These are kind of where I want your input because like they stress me out. They don't stress me out, but like I always feel like no one's going to show up because like I'm not that interesting. So I also want to do more standalone book reviews. And I say this all the time. I actually have like 4 scripted out right now. I believe in the power of book reviews because while, hauls and TBRs and releases and the recommendations and stuff like that get more views at once, I will stand firm in the fact that these one-off reviews get the most views over time. They are evergreen content. People are always going to come back and look for 6 Crimson Cranes reviews. That is one of my most popular videos, is my 6 Crimson Cranes spoiler-free review. And it gets so much search traffic. Whereas it's January 2023 TBR might have gotten a lot of views right at once, but it's never going to get views again because it's not evergreen. Like, no one's going to go back and watch what I wanted to read in January of last year. So it's good to have a mix of all the content, but I know a lot of people lean away from full-on reviews, and I understand why, because for one, it feels like they're almost not worth it originally because they get very low views, but also they take a lot more time. It takes me a lot more time to bullet point out. I do script my videos, not like script, but I have like bullet points where it's like this, I want to hit on this, I want to hit on this, I want to hit on this, and like little notes to myself. So it does take me a little longer to do that. They take me a little bit longer to film because they're usually longer videos, and just a little bit more goes into doing those, but I do want to do more. Like I said, I have a couple scripted out that I want to work on. I'm probably going to film tomorrow. And the next day I'm trying to film like 1 to 2 videos a day as opposed to my like book huge like binging of, trying to film a whole bunch of videos in a day. Like 2 to 3 is much more manageable, even though it's still bulk filming. But yeah, I definitely want to do more of that. So let me know your thoughts on that. And if there are any books specifically that you're looking for reviews on, preferably ones that I've already read or will be reading soon, you can look through my Goodreads. But I do have a couple I'm planning to do. Fourth Wing, The Hexologist by Josiah Bancroft. I have Amina Sarifi and The Malevolent Seven, all like scripted out. So I'm excited to get to all of those. Those are the 4 that I have kind of ready to film right now. I'm also going to try to start doing my vlogs again. So for a while, remember I was doing weekly vlogs and everyone seemed to love them, even though I feel like I'm super boring. I want to start doing them again, but I want to do monthly. So it'll just be like monthly reading, life, family, whatever vlogs, and just kind of throw all of the clips from the entire month in there. So you can see, my reading as it goes, but also, more personal stuff, if that makes sense. It'll be more like you know, me with my family and at the pool and, you know, just the more like chill personal things we're doing. Obviously, I'm not really, you know, this isn't a family channel. I'm not going to be like, this is my kids. Like, you don't really need to see a whole lot of boy and girl child, like little clips here and there. But yeah, so more vlogs, more just like day in the lifestyle vlogs, but just once a month, I'm thinking that's enough. Right? Because they're kind of personal. They're kind of more chill and laid back, and they are easier to film, but they're also kind of a pain to remember to film as you're doing things. I'm really bad about that. I'm really bad about not filming while I'm doing stuff and then wishing I would have gotten a clip of doing something because like I was having so much fun I didn't think to get a clip. But once a month vlogs. Okay, here's the other thing we were kind of touching on. The last thing I want to touch on and really ask Elle about. So, like I said, my husband and I have been watching a lot of anime. We've always been anime watchers. I just don't really talk about it. I've been really into reading manga, especially like, you know, on my own and with my daughter. I don't know if I want to talk about it much on this channel because the anime and manga dude bro community scares the ever living bejesus out of me. They are so terrifying, I feel like, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be like, yeah, we've been watching this and I've been really enjoying it and, you know, whatever. And then just, well, you don't understand the whatever. I don't know. Like, because that is, we know, right? That's how the dude bros are. That's how the anime dude bros are. And I don't really want to deal with them. I have to deal with enough some dude bros when I whatever, like people get pissy about everything and it's like, bro, it's a TV show, like, dude, it's a book, like, let's stop. But that and like video games, we've been playing a lot. Like I've been trying to play more often, like Final Fantasy 16. I'm still not done with it. I know I started forever ago. I'm still not done with Final Fantasy 16. It just takes me so long because I have so much going on and I can't spend a whole lot of time as much as I'd like to. But yeah, like, do I talk about the anime and manga and video games, or do I just kind of like maybe leave that for the vlogs? That's another option. Like, I was thinking about doing different like themed videos based on different like anime or manga or whatever that we've like read or watched. Or it's like, if you like this, read this fantasy book. Or if you like this fantasy book, try this anime. Because that's kind of how I pick anyway. But I don't know. Those sound like fun concepts to do, but again, some of that community scares the crap out of me. Especially the One Piece community. Because, like, obviously we've watched One Piece, like, the anime one. But, I watched part of the live action. I'm still only 3 episodes in. I haven't made it very far. The sheer concept of reading the manga is like, there's no way I can collect all those. Like, I'm good with just being caught up with the anime. But like their community kind of terrifies me. And then it's like, oh, you just jumped on that bandwagon. Like, we've been watching it for a while. You just don't talk about it. Right? Because so many people, like, we watched Demon Slayer, My Hero, Black Clover. Like, I've watched all those with my daughter, too, and she really likes them. So I think it's really fun. I've rewatched them a couple times. I saw my daughter's watch Demon Slayer, like, 4 times now, waiting for the new one. But yeah, I'm just trying to think if I should incorporate some of that into the channel, if I should leave it for vlogs, or if I should just ignore it altogether and keep enjoying it in my private time because the community scares me. Alright, well, those are all of my goals, my reading and channel goals for this year. Let me know what your goals are, what you think, if there's anything you want to see on this channel. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm very excited to be more consistent and present here this year. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. My name is Jessie, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.